we're all built differently. We all have different levels of flexibility, all that kind of shit. A lot of guys might sit flat on their foot, you know, sit flat on your foot. I can't do that right now because my knee's a little tweaked. Some guys might come forward with it. One common denominator is we want to avoid bone-on-bone contact like that because it rolls. Elbow inside of knee. Tracking? All right. An alternate kneeling, if you've got good functional flexibility, you might assume what I call a rice paddy prone. And that's straight down, full squat, where your ass is almost touching the back of your knees, both elbows inside knees. When it comes to sitting, different sitting positions, right? So common, right-handed shooter, left over right, elbows inside knees. Good natural point of aim once again. So find that. Don't adjust here, adjust here for natural point of aim. You might bring your feet out in front of you, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm gonna do what I call a mag hook. So I'm gonna orient my feet sort of this way, hook the mag that way. So rock solid, almost like prone. And then 5 in the prone, no brainer. We've been shooting prone all morning. Tracking? We need to build a position to achieve a natural point of aim. How could we define natural point of aim? Keeping in mind that the clarity by which something is defined will determine the effectiveness of its application. I like to say it because it makes me sound smart. How could we define that?
The way your body is aligned at rest.
Nice, I like that one. Where your body is aligned at rest. The way your body is aligned at rest. It's a good one. Mine is comfortably on target with zero muscular input. We're saying the same thing, different wording. But we need to word that in a way so that it is palatable to the intended recipient. So I want to try to build a position to achieve a natural point of aim. So I want to get as much of my body and the rifle on the ground as possible. Any issue with me putting that mag on the ground? No. I want to get behind the rifle and I want to pull as deep into the pocket of my shoulder. Initially for me, my technique, I leave this hand off initially. Just initially. Because once I build that position to achieve a natural point of aim, I want to breathe in and out. And I want to watch that sight rise and fall, straight up and down. Not in an angle, straight up and down. I want to be high up on that pistol grip, stock extended, deep into the pocket, cheek stock weld, head straight up and down, looking directly to the center of the aperture. Rifle straight up and down as well. Once I'm there, this hand comes up. Once I hit my respiratory pause and the sight is in the center of the black, I start my trigger control. The fundamental is control. So let me ask you, how much finger should I put on that trigger?
Whatever is comfortable for you.
All right. Hey, I do a lot of this, by the way. I ask, so just get used to it. Because I'm not just gonna, once again, I'm not gonna talk at you. A lot of this, especially if you've been around for a while, we're taught at some point this, right? Splitting the distal phalange, because that's so much fun to say. I'm gonna call that, because I'm old and crotchety, I'm gonna call that an anachronism taught through institutional inbreeding. That's what I'm gonna call that. And let's be analogous and talk tools. When we have this, we have built in a fulcrum where we cannot help but to be fast on the bottom part of that fulcrum. So I'm gonna suggest build a vise. Build a vise. Get that gap out of there. Because now we have control. The fundamental is control. So deep into the pocket, hand off, breathe in and out, check that respiratory pause, see if the dot falls in, hand comes up just for support. Start my trigger control. Sight, 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 squeeze, 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 sight, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Boom, the gun fires, it cycles, it chambers another round. Now I need to realign the sights and reset the trigger, follow through. Sight, squeeze, boom, the gun fires, cycles, chambers another round, realign the sights, reset the trigger every time. Every time.